Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited. This is, I think, the latest in the day. We've done an interview, which is really exciting. And today I have HeHe Stewart with me. We're going to talk to her in a second, but I just want to say good afternoon to everyone. Make sure you're all like warm and snuggly. Beautiful sunny day today after all that snow, which was crazy, right? And apparently we have more coming. I was actually just looking at the weather reports and they're conflicting right now. Like one says, yeah, we're getting lots of snow and one says we're not getting any. So we'll see. Anyway, let's start talking to HeHe. I will stop being annoying. So HeHe, hi.
Hi, how are you? I love that you mentioned two things, that it's the latest in the afternoon and I have my coffee and all the snow. Ooh, I'm rooting for no more snow. That's my vote. I will just cast that with the universe.
Right? It's almost April, so I feel like we should be done. Like we should have gotten this in January. Like I love the snow. And if it's going to be cold, we better have snow. Like that's how I feel. But I mean, come on. It's almost April.
Yeah, so it's not my jam, but I definitely am. I'm over it too. I'm over it too.
Right? So snow's not your jam. You grew up down south, didn't you?
I did. Oh my goodness. So I grew up in Mississippi, and then I hopped over to Alabama to get my master's, and then I followed my partner up here, and he's originally from Connecticut, and I wanted to live in New York. Ever since I was in high school, I danced in the Macy's parade when I was in high school, and I fell in love with the city. And we ended up in Boston, and it's been fun.
It's a whole lot closer than you were to New York.
Yeah. And we do. We hop over to New York all the time. It's really fun. He spoils me by New York trips all the time. Just weekend ganders, and they're fun. I get my taste much more than I would if I lived down south still.
Nice. Well, welcome to New England. How long have you been here?
3 years. Wow, it's a long time. Yeah, in May will be 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about you. So you're from the South. You've lived here about 3 years. What else should we know about you?
So I'm the founder of Tranquility by HeHe. I'm a maternity concierge, a doula, and an infant development expert. So I have a master's in human development and family studies. I have been in early childhood education for the last 8 years, and I finally wanted to be out of the classroom, but still in that infant realm. But the older I've gotten, the more I'm able to connect with parents. No surprise there, but I kind of have fallen in love with the parent aspect that I didn't have so much when I was younger. And so Tranquility by HeHe allows me to do all of that. Yeah.
Nice. Tranquility by HeHe. One of the things that you described in there. Okay, wait. Before we even get into this, talk to me about HeHe. Where does this name come from?
So my whole family has double names. My name is Haley Elise, and they go together. So they would be like Mary Ann or Mary Margaret. And in college, I was nicknamed HE by one of my very dear friends, and then that just kind of transformed to HeHe. And when I moved up here, double names aren't a super thing up here. And Haley is just not my name. It just really isn't. And so I decided to be HeHe officially, and it fits. It's really awesome. It gives me a lot of energy. I love the name HeHe.
Nice. That's fun. I was very curious. So I was like, let's
try. It's a common question.
Awesome. So one of the things you described in Tranquility by HeHe is that you're a maternity concierge. What in the world is a maternity concierge?
Right. So you can think of your life concierge, right? That come in and they do all of your things for you. They run your errands. They're your time savers. They're the people that really, they're the glue of your foundation, but they work behind the scenes, right? So I do the same things for you, except only what is brought on by your pregnancy, if that makes sense, or by having a baby. So an example that I give is I won't go pick up your laundry or go grocery shopping for you, because you'd have to do that either way, whether you were pregnant and expecting or not. And that is more of the realm of a concierge, and I have plenty of those to give you off to if you need support like that. I actually have plenty that I work with. But for me, I do things like ordering your baby registry items, or maybe making your baby registry, ordering those invitations for your baby shower, organizing your baby shower. I've partnered with an event planner that helps me do all of that, and so you get her services as well. I will put together your nursery. I will do the research on, if you see you've narrowed it down to 3, 4, 5 strollers, and you say, like, I really just need to know which one's the best, I can pull the quick tips. I have worksheets, or I guess like Excel spreadsheets filled with all this information. I'll pull the quick tips of just those 5 and send them over to you so you can make your decision.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a time saver. Yeah. I actually hear that a lot.
So do people that are pregnant with their first child tend to want and need that more, or people that have multiple children?
Yeah, it's a happy mix. Yeah, it's not so much dependent on whether you've had kids or not. It's kind of dependent on what's going on in your life right now. And so I have a few high-profile clients who just really don't have the time that they can take from work to get all of these things done, and they just want the support in preparing for baby. And then some of those people, I will be at their births and then postpartum, and then some of them not, some of them just postpartum. It looks different. So yeah, it's a happy mix of both first-time parents, but also parents of multiple children.
Okay, nice. So let's talk about, what was it called? The baby registry. Sorry, I totally forgot what that was called for a second. The baby registry. You said you help with that. So do you have specific items that you're like, okay, these are what everyone seems to want? Not just like brand of product, but like type of thing?
Absolutely. So I actually teach a couple classes on this, and so you can sign up for classes. Some of them are in Boston, some of them are virtual, some of them are still to come. But yeah, so my clients can ask about the items that they might need, or the internet is a really wild place. You can get really lost on the internet with all of opinions of you need this and you definitely don't need this, but you do need this. And, then you have the opposites of all of that stuff, right? Everyone has their own opinion. So I have kind of the top things that all parents say they need, and then I tell your choices. So something that comes to mind is carriers. So some people are huge fans of soft carriers, and some people love hard carriers. So I help you understand what the difference are, why you might choose one over the other, or sometimes why you might need both. Some people do choose one and then transition to the other.
Yeah. We have multiple carriers in our family because we found that my husband and I, I love the Moby wrap when they're infant, grow it. Like, I could live in that thing, but he hates it. He hates the Moby wrap. So we had to find different carriers for them.
So I have found actually that it depends for me personally on the size of the child. So I love Moby, but I also love the boba and the solid. I cannot wear a solid with a very large child. I need more support than the solid can give. So I need that boba or that Moby because that's thick, and I need that. So yeah, I also have multiple cares, but I don't have children, so go figure.
That's funny. Awesome. And then let's talk a little bit about baby shower stuff. So if somebody hires you as a maternity concierge, hire Tranquility, I can't even say it, Tranquility by HeHe.
Yes.
For their maternity needs. Is that like an add-on service to get like an event planner for baby?
Yes.
for?
So there is a maternity concierge fee. And if you decide that you want any of those services, that fee covers all of my concierge piece. So then I would call the event planner and I would say, I have this birthday party, can you give me an estimate? She would give me an estimate. And then for TBH clients, there's a shorter way to say it. There's the TBH clients. She offers an exclusive discount for those clients. And so you would get that estimate and knock that price off. And then you can also pick and choose what you have done. So if you just want her to handle the food or you just want her to do the decorations, it's very flexible because I'm a huge believer that, it's not one size fits all. It's not even one size fits one. There's things that are going to change from you trying to have a baby all the way to postpartum, and it's going to be you the whole time that you're going to have different needs and wants and thoughts and need different supports. So, yeah.
Right.
Flexibility.
Awesome. Is this something that is covered by insurance or it's not? How do people normally go about paying for this kind of service?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And it's also one that we get a lot, or that I get a lot. So it depends on your insurance is the bottom line, right? Like everything else, right? I'm sorry. I wish I had a better answer for you. You can submit for reimbursements, and some insurances are going to cover it and some are not. You can also look into your HSA and your FSA accounts. And then if you find that you're covered or that those accounts will cover it, will reimburse you, you can you'll have to gather some documents, and that's something I help my clients with. I've actually had a couple people get reimbursed for it. Some of them got pretty good reimbursements, and some of them got a little bit of support, and so that was good. And your doula has to register for certain things, but yeah, sometimes you can get that. Otherwise, it's a birth cost.
Right.
Yeah.
So you said you're a maternity concierge and you're a doula. Are those two separate entities? Those are two separate things that people can hire you for? Or is it kind of like an all-inclusive, if you hire me as your doula, we also get all of this other stuff with it?
Yeah. So that's a loaded question, kind of, so I'll dissect it. So all of my clients have access to those exclusive discounts, right? But then the maternity concierge of me doing all of that back-end work, the concierge piece, is a separate fee, and that is add-on. So I have packages. Some of those packages include the maternity concierge. Those packages were designed because they were I pulled different things from all of the packages that I saw people putting together organically kind of happening. I pulled them together and thought, why not offer a discount? If people need these services and this is a great package and I'm continuously seeing people choose this, I'll offer it at a bundle rate. So I did. I made some packages and you can save some money there. Otherwise, you can add it on, and I have an a la carte package that you can do your entire package a la carte. And I have several people that do that as well to make it tailored for what you need, exactly what you need, which is, that's the name of the game these days, right? So don't waste your time on stuff that you don't need, don't pay for it, but pick the package that you need, and it's perfect for you. So yeah, loaded question. Everyone gets access to the exclusive discounts from the insider people of the Tranquility team, but the maternity concierge is in some packages, and you can always add it on. Flexibility, right?
Right. Good. So let's talk a little bit about your doula services.
Yeah.
I think first of all, so if I were pregnant which I'm not, reminder to people that know me, I'm not. If I were and I wanted to hire you as a doula, how soon should I contact you?
Yeah, so that ranges. I think it depends on you. On average, I have a preference that that we at least meet when you are around 5 or 6 months, because I try and meet with you at least 3 times before your birth, unless you choose the birth only package, and then we meet virtually. So never in person, and it's only once. But for anyone else, I do try and meet with you 3 times, and once a month is a nice, good flow. We definitely we can cram. I've been hired past due dates. I've been hired 1 week before due dates. I've been hired the night before due date. So you can hire me at any point, but I have a preference of 5 to 6 months. You can do it earlier if that makes you feel better. And some people say, I just want to get on your books. That is smart. You know, now I have births that are already in the fall. So, you know, it's kind of up to you. It's up to your preference level of like what makes you feel comfortable, but then also leaving enough room for us to do the education, the mind space, that work that we need to do, because there is work. We have work to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is like for doulas, it's not a requirement to be certified, correct?
Right.
But a lot of doulas choose to be certified. And you have chosen not to. Can you talk to us about that? I know you and I have talked about it some, but I would love for you to tell everyone.
Yeah. So actually, I have a podcast. I just put out a podcast about this exact thing actually on Friday. So go check it out. It's number 8. But as far as the certification goes, you know, the thought is that a lot of doulas do this. They get certified. And when I first got trained to be a doula, I also thought that I would want to be certified. But then I realized that a lot of doulas actually don't get certified. And none of your older doulas, well, I can't say that. Not none. That's a very hard term. Many of your older doulas don't have certification, and so it made me look into it a little bit more. And I realized that in conjunction with my formal education, I was able to use this doula training as a final piece of this puzzle, and it was really critical because it showed me how to support people during labor, which is not anything that I got during school. Obviously, mine was all kind of the mechanics, the mental piece, the science, the sociology piece, the psychology piece, all of that, the human development piece. And so that doula piece, it was like that final click. It was really awesome. And the weekend course prepared me to support people, you know, from beginning to end. And then from there, I just have kind of dove head first into certain things, like breastfeeding and pelvic floor, and trying to conceive and being on the infertility journey. And then, yeah, the birth piece and the postpartum piece. Otherwise, I got, you know, in school. So, yeah, that was my reason for not being certified. But yeah, some people it's for them, and some people it's not for them. I think for me, that's the beautiful thing about it, because that's kind of what our whole group stands for, right? Like, doulas are just there to support you in what you choose. So it's important to me that I'm supported in what I chose, and I have been. You know, people are super supportive, and I get this question a lot. And I think after I explain it, people are like, "That makes so much sense." So yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I've been on your website, Facebook page, one of the two, I don't remember, but there's like a lot of other things that you offer, I think, if I remember correctly, that we haven't talked about today. So what are some of those things that you find that pregnant women really love to hire you for that we haven't yet talked about?
Yeah, so nothing really individually. I think all of the things that are on my website that you're seeing, so like the herbalism and the Thai massage and you know, spinning babies, that was a training I attended. So all of those things are things that I bring to your birth. And then the postpartum, so the herbalism, I actually make my own things to give to moms. And so there are things that I kind of have researched what the best for the postpartum healing and things to, I don't know, nipple butter, things like that. And so according to what mom needs, I can go home and kind of whip things up for her and take it back to her. And it's just a very gentle way because your body just went through a lot of hard work and your baby's very fresh, right? So your baby, you have to think, is this very fragile thing. So you want to be careful what you're putting on your body. So especially things like your nipples. So if your baby's going to be latching on your nipple, do you really want to have, a cream that is filled with chemicals? Rather, I can whip you something up tonight and bring it to your house in the morning if you can just make it through one more night. And most people are like, absolutely, I can do it. Women are warriors, we're so strong. We really are.
Right? It's kind of amazing. It amazes me every time I think about like how we're made and just how much unbelievable.
It really is. When I was getting my master's, I have to say the human development piece of birth and like the women's health piece was always fascinating for me. But I never saw it being my end goal. And here I am, and I couldn't be happier. It's really wild. It's really wild how much time I spent studying children, and then overall the human body, and here I am in women's health, and it's amazing. It's cool. The whole puzzle piece, it's really neat.
Right.
Yeah.
So, something that I don't think that we covered in this interview is where are you? Like because you mentioned Boston earlier, and I'm not in Boston. So talk to me a little bit about this. Like, where are you, and what how far do you travel for your services? Like, what's
Sure. So I am in Boston, and then for physical births, I usually try and keep it in an hour of Boston. So I'll drive about an hour outside of the city to get to your birth. Otherwise, I find that it's probably best suited that you get someone closer to you, only because you can never predict how your birth can go, and I don't want to risk. What's at risk is your support, right? So if I don't make it to your birth, you're the one who loses out. And so I often find that that's kind of far. So within an hour of Boston. But I also do virtual support, which has been wildly popular with people who don't live within an hour of Boston. And the only caveat to that is obviously I don't get to be at your birth. There are things that we do during our prenatals that prepare you and your partner, if applicable, to handle that birth smoothly by yourselves. And I usually am within an arm's reach of your birth anyway. I know what you're going through. I know that you're in labor. I generally am, connected to my phone. I'm just not physically there, but you're not alone. So yeah, physically in Boston, but my podcast has reached actually a couple different countries. So you can dial in, you can get a hold of me. So I guess it doesn't really matter where you are.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
And let me just make sure I heard this right. Earlier on in our conversation, we talked about if somebody hires you as a doula, depending on when it is, you can do your meeting virtually or in person. If you do in-person meetings, do they come to you? Like, do you have an office, or do you travel to them? Do you meet in the middle? Like, what's your MO?
Yep. So generally for the interview, we meet out in public just for both of our safeties. There's no sense in either one of us going to anyone's home before we've met. But then after that, I come to your home. We get on the floor. I show you different poses. We do some pretty intimate talking. I need to know certain details. It helps.
Starbucks.
I mean, I have when people are like, I'd rather meet here. Hey, it's your body. I'm happy to talk about it. People on either side of us might look, but I usually am just like, hi, we are talking about placentas. Do you have something to say? Would you like to join us? We talk some gory details sometimes. So yeah, in your home is generally where I meet, but I'm happy to do it in public if that makes you feel better, for sure. Yeah.
All right, nice. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to know. It's so fascinating to me. Is there anything else that you feel like people should know about, like maternity concierge or being a doula or all the other things that you do?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. If you're interested in more of my stuff, I have a website and a blog. I'm on iTunes. You can find us at the Tranquility Tribe podcast. I dive into topics like why I chose not to be certified, but then also things like painful sex and preparing for a baby and hormones and healthy eating and newborn photography, goodness, anything and everything. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to get a hold of some of my goodies, and I have tons of freebies out there, so visit one of those sites. They all interlink. You'll find your way around.
Nice. Okay. And guys that are listening, if you have any questions, be sure to write those down in the comments, and we'll talk about them. Excuse me. And I will also tag your business page on this interview after we're done too. I'm not actually on right now. Excuse me, my goodness. So if there's no questions by anyone else, I think I'm out. I've asked a ton. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't.
All right. You never know. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, HeHe.
No problem.
I'm learning a lot more about you and what you do and you as a person. And
thank you so much. I appreciate you giving me the time to chat with everyone.
Yeah, thanks for sharing and have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Goodbye.